Okay, so thanks for your time again. And yeah, don't want to take too much of it. So let me know whenever you need to head out. But I wanted to just
Okay,
first,
cool.
hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I wanted to just ask you first to start with your name and your pronouns.
Okay, my name is Wendy J and my pronoun is she, her.
Okay, thank you. And could you just start by giving me as well like a brief background about yourself and just generally like where you grew up, what you're majoring in, and
Okay, so I was born in Beijing, China, and then I grew up there and I went to elementary school there. But then I went to an international school in Singapore at around like the age of 11, and I finished my middle school there. After I finished middle school, I came to Providence, which is the state capital of Rhode Island, and then there I finished high school, and then after high school, I came to BU, and now I'm majoring in public relations.
okay, that's awesome. And what you said you're a second year, right?
Yeah, I'm a sophomore.
Okay, great. So thank you for that. And wanted to just now ask you a bit more about your name. And I know that you introduced yourself with Wendy, but is there another name that you go by as well?
Yes, my legal name is Liruoheng. Um, and usually in Chinese we say our last name first. So my last name is Jay. So my Chinese name is Zhang, but usually people don't call me that besides my family.
Okay, is there like a
Yeah.
reason that you chose to go by Wendy instead, and like why
Yeah.
people usually
So
don't?
so like I mentioned before, so I basically uh like completed my educations like abroad, so not in China. And with that, I kind of got the name Wendy before I started middle school because that was like just the thing you do as an international student, especially a lot of the Chinese peers I met. They just gave themselves an English name because it's easier to pronounce for uh, teachers and peers around you. It's easier for socializing and stuff, and that's how I got to name Wendy. And I just kept with it till now.
And is there like so you mentioned that you got the name a bit before middle school, right?
Yes.
So was there a way that like you per se like got it per se, or was it more that like you chose this name for a reason?
I wouldn't. I kind of just got it because so the person that gave me the name was who the person that kind of helped me to adjust to like a new country. So I guess like a mentor. And he actually gave me two choices. One was Stephanie and one was Wendy. And I just thought Wendy sounded better than Stephanie. So I just went with it. I didn't really see it as a big deal. There wasn't really an English name that I really wanted. So I just wanted to make like people I just how do I word this? I just wanted an English name so that people can pronounce it. There's really no
Okay.
big meaning behind it when I chose.
Do you feel like after you kind of made that decision, it's like impacted your identity in any way?
Uh, Definitely, yeah. Because uh, besides my family, everybody calls me Wendy, even with peers that I've met abroad that also speaks Chinese. They also call me by my English name because I guess this is how things went. Because teachers in classrooms refer to me as Wendy, so my Chinese peers also know me as Wendy. And another thing is that my Chinese name is longer than the traditional names because the traditional names have either 3 characters or 2 characters, but mine has 4 characters, so that already made me. I got made fun of a lot when I was in elementary school in China for how long my name, like like, because my name is like longer, so it was kind of strange back then. But then now it's like more common, so that's why kind of besides my family, nobody calls me my name because that's what they heard in class, and yeah, it's just easier for them to say.
And like, how about like for you? Like, is it like, did it make you feel like a certain way where you're like, okay, trying to just make it easier for people, or was it something that internally like you felt?
So at the beginning, it was just a name. For me, it's like, oh, it's easier for my teacher to pronounce. But then now, because I've had it for so long, it kind of becomes like, I say alter ego. I wouldn't say alter, kind of like an alter ego. It's like, oh, I'm me, I'm Wendy. I can't think of myself having another name other than Wendy. That's just how I feel right now. So yeah, it definitely kind of became part of me.
And do you feel like your personality also developed in any way because of it, or
Uh,
actually how do you think it's shaped your personality?
uh, I'd say when I'm like Wendy, I'm more creative. I don't know, because when I'm Wendy, I'm mostly like by myself, interacting with my friends, interacting with teachers, just like out there in the world. I'm Wendy. So I'm more like independent in a way when I'm Wendy, but then at home when I'm just with my family, Wendy is gone. They never call me Wendy. Um, it's just my like name that I was given at birth. So there's like a sense of like restraint almost. Like Wendy, it's like myself, and then my legal name is like reminds me of that I have. It's my root. It reminds me that I have a family, and then the culture that I grew up in. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, 100% that makes sense. And that is that the reason that, you know, is there a reason that your parents or your family never shifted to the change in calling you Wendy and stuck to calling you your birth name?
Yeah, because my family, they don't really speak English, so there really isn't a point for them to call me Wendy. And second of all, they've been calling me my legal name for so long, and it's just sometimes my mom would call me Wendy like as a joke. It sounds very weird coming from her. So, and I also just I want to keep like that my actual name is also part of me. So I want to have a place, an environment where people can still refer to that name.
100%. Is there like ever a part of you that I don't like not regrets the decision, but ever felt like there it could be different and not having to like to appease people or make it easier to change the name, or is that something that you are happy that you did?
Yeah, definitely. I kind of, I wouldn't say regret, but I just hope that the society, especially the Western society, has more of a tolerance towards ethnic names or names that are hard to pronounce. Because I really like my Chinese name, but then it just there was a point in life, especially middle school, where I was embarrassed by my Chinese name because of how whenever teachers would take attendance, they were always stuck on my name. They're like, how do you pronounce this? Or they would pronounce it really weirdly. It just made me feel very awkward. So there was a point where I wish just like they don't see my actual name. They could just, see me as Wendy because of how they pronounce my name. So there was a point, even till now, there's some sense of like, even till high school, there was this sense of like embarrassment and awkwardness that I felt when teachers would pronounce my name just because of what's making my name is giving them a hard time. But ever since like I started college, I felt better about the fact. I felt less embarrassed on my name because here BU is a very international institution and everybody here has like it's common for someone to have like an ethnic name, and then the professors here are aware of that. People here comes from like every a lot of different countries have different cultural backgrounds, so they're more I want to say acceptable, but they're more used to pronouncing or seeing ethnic names. So now I'm a lot better with that feeling of embarrassment in terms of my name.
Well, that's great to hear, and I'm like happy that that's transitioned over in like a way that makes you feel more comfortable. Um, was there like has there been points in time when you felt like you've been treated differently just because of having an ethnic name, or that you felt like there was kind of any microaggression shown, or something which made you feel uncomfortable beyond the pronunciation?
Um, Not really in terms of my name. It's mostly just pronunciations. I guess people some teachers would make comments. It was like a long time ago. Some very few teachers would make like comments about like, oh, how my name is like hard, or whenever I say, oh, I go by Wendy, and then they're like, oh, that's a lot easier. It makes me feel like bad sometimes, like, oh, I'm sorry,
Yes,
I'm giving you a hard time, because of my name, which I learned I probably shouldn't be, because that's literally my name, and I don't have to be, I
100%.
don't feel bad about that. Yeah.
No, definitely. And what does your name mean? Like your um ethnic name?
Okay. My name is actually pretty interesting. I think it means so after I was born, my mom told a friend to go to like a fortune teller. So
Oh,
yeah, and then they have to give the fortune teller my date of birth, the time I was born, the year I was born, and then they do their little thing, and they came up with like I believe there's actually a certificate. I won't say a certificate, but like a paper that like was like that the names the fortune teller wrote down, and then I believe my name meant something about like fortune, like money or something. I don't know. It's a Chinese thing that it's very hard to explain, but I just know my name has something to do with that. If I It can bring me or my family fortune, something like that.
wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
And my last name is actually my mom's last name, not my dad's, which I'm very proud of.
Oh,
I tell this to people all the time. My last name is my mom's, not my dad's. So my dad's last name is actually part of my first name. So
how did that come to be?
I don't know. I think my mom just wanted me to be part of her side of the family, not my dad's. And my dad was like, whatever. I actually changed my name because the name on my birth certificate actually did not have my dad's last name in it. But then
Oh wow.
I guess my dad's family was kind of not happy about it, so they added my dad's last name to my first name. Yeah.
Wow. Wait, that's
Yeah.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
That is so different. Do you feel like that also made an impact on your life, like having your mom's last name as part of it?
Um, Honestly, I I wouldn't say an impact, but I've always been like closer with my mom's side of family. So I don't know if that's the name or it's just how I was raised, but I just think it's cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that that's being done. That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
A very cool story for the name as well. And they're like they are as you are like kind of proud of having this name, I'm sure. That does it
Yeah,
give you?
yeah, because uh, my
So
mom just is really glad that it's her daughter and it's like her part of the family. She doesn't want me to, because how like last name really indicates like what,
yeah,
like which family you're from. So she's kind of happy that I got her last name because it indicates that I'm part of her family. So I guess it means more to her than to me. So
that's awesome. Is it weird for them ever to either like hear your friends or like know that you have this kind of like you have like Wendy as like a part of your name too?
oh no, they understand it because I've told them that I feel like they've always just came to accept the fact that, once you go to another country, you need a name so that people there can communicate with you better. And in China, I like kids have to take English from a very young age, and all kids that take English have their own English name. So I guess it's very common back home. So I don't think they're surprised to weird about
Got it. Yeah, I mean, those were all my main questions. And if is there anything else that you think would be relevant that you would like to share?
it. Um, I can't think of it at the top of my head right now.
That's totally fine. If there ever is anything that comes up, that you feel like would be helpful to have a part of the conversation, then would love to hear it. I'm going to
Okay.
stop the recording now.